Yes, good afternoon. As you can see that already I have written on the board about Gregor Johann Mendel. As in my last class I have discussed with you about that Gregor Johann Mendel was the father of genetics. Now, in my last class I have also said about the that what are alleles, how genes are made up of two alleles, and the alleles come from our parents, and together two allele forms a zygote, and during the sexual reproduction, that too in by the help of crossing over, where variation normally occurs, the two alleles gets separated from each other. One of them is known as the dominant one, the other one is known as the recessive one. Now today we will be proceeding further. As you all know that Gregor Johann Mendel worked his experiment on the pea plant or the garden pea plant. Now why did he took the pea plant for his experimental purpose? Number one, as we all know, it is an annual plant with short lifespan, that is of 3 to 4 months. The second one is many contrasting characters that helps us easy to study. Next one will be natural self-pollination is present. Fourth one is pea plant is easy to cultivate, as for a particular period of time in a year this plant is cultivated and its seeds are large. Fifth point is natural cross-pollination can be performed by artificial means by the artificial man-made methods, by bagging and all, we can carry out the cross-pollination. So these are the points due to which Gregor Johann Mendel carried out his experiment of by the help of a pea plant. Now you can ask that, sir, why only short lifespan pea plant? Why have it not have taken any other plant which has got a larger lifespan? The thing is that this was being done particularly because with a shorter lifespan and with contrasting characters, we can easily perform or we can study more details by the help of various number of characters, whereas in any of the big plants you will be finding that within a very short time they have got unique characters and there is not much to study about those characters after a certain period of time. Whereas in a pea plant, due to the short lifespan and due to the contrasting characters in such a short span of time, we can study a number of things which Gregor Johann Mendel tried to explain or tried to carry out in his experiments. Now the next thing is that Mendel had also discovered or has also talked about that Mendel quantitatively analyzed inheritance of qualitative characters. Now this is a very, very important line, because he said quantitatively analyzed qualitative characters, means what was the exact quantity, means the various number of characters that they have got, and what were the qualities, whether it was round, whether the seeds were round, yellow, white, or what were their shape, size. All these things were the quality of a pea plant. So that was the main thing. From here you can get questions for your aims and all examinations. Apart from this, after 34 years of Gregor Johann Mendel, 3 scientists came to know about Gregor Johann. One of them was Carol Correns. He worked upon maize plant, and he said that the 2 laws of Mendel, that is law of segregation and law of independent assortment, were correct. Hugo de Vries, his work was upon experiment. He had done lots of work on mutation, on evening primrose, or rather primrose, whatever you can say. This was the plant on which he had carried out number of mutations and number of experiments. And the last one is, his name is a little bit too long, Erich von Skimark Sessenegg. He had worked on different flowering plants. So this was the thing which by the 3 scientists who worked upon after Mendel's death, and they had seen that yes, whatever Mendel had analyzed in his pea plant experiment, or whatever he studied in the 18th century, that was not so wrong, and that was correct. Now the next portion from here is, we will be talking about the next thing, that is about monohybrid cross, which Mendel had studied. What is monohybrid cross? Monohybrid cross, as the name suggests, means mono means one character. When we consider a cross, or when we consider the inheritance of one character at a time in a cross, it is the monohybrid cross. Like Mendel selected tall plants, pure tall, like this, and pure dwarf plants, and from here gametes were being formed. This were the parents, or the parental generation. This is the gamete. Self-pollination occurs, and now when this will be self-pollinated, what will be getting? It will be this is the ratio, and he made a Punnett square. This was kept after the scientist Reginald C. Punnett. And it is like this. Always the male will be at the top and the female will be over here. This would be capital T, capital small t, and this would be capital T, and this would be small t. Now if you do the cross, it will be T and T. This is also T and small t. This is T, small t, this is small t and small t. So from here, as you can see, two capital T's, as I said yesterday, it's a homozygous, means pivotal. Capital T small t is a heterozygous tall. It is a having both the dominant